One of the hardest things that I've ever been through in my life was struggling with my eating disorder. For 6 excruciating years, I battled with bulimia every single day. It took over so many valuable areas of my life, and if I'm being honest, it is the reason that I no longer was physically capable of playing the sport that I loved more than anything, volleyball. I couldn't keep up on the court. I was fatigued. I was falling asleep in class. I couldn't focus on my homework. My grades were dropping. And it all stemmed from the havoc I was wreaking on my body. That was from the ages 15 through 21. And I can sit here all day and talk about why I hated myself so much and the repercussions of me hating myself so much, but anybody who struggled with body image to any degree can probably relate to the fact that it makes you not love yourself very much sometimes. You compare yourself to other people a lot, thinking that any other body is better than yours, or thinking thin is the only way that you can achieve beauty. Thinking that you have to fit into this mold of society, of what society wants. And even though logically you might know it's not true, our emotions can often get the better of us. And we think that we are less than and unworthy and not beautiful because of the body that we live in, even though it's the only one we have and we don't want to hate it. So in this video, I want to share with you how a survivor of an eating disorder went on to loving herself more than anything. I love my body. Sure, I have my days when I don't feel the best, but the things that I eat and the way I look at myself are not the defining factors of my happiness, because I have separated my body from happiness. Yes, I'm happy with my body, but there's so much more in my life that I'm happy about, and I want to share that with you. If you're ready to dive into this, I would love it if you supported your girl on her mission to change millions and millions of lives and help spread awareness of self-love and mental health and recovery from trauma by subscribing to my channel and turning on the bell so every time I have a new free offer, I have a new video, you're the first to know, because I end every video with giving you steps that you can implement immediately following the video to begin to change the relationship that you have with yourself. So with that being said, let's get into it. The first thing and the biggest thing that allowed me to recover from my eating disorder and love myself was education. Learning and studying and following people who could teach me more about how food works in my body, what foods made me feel good, how to learn the skill set of self-awareness. We're not always self-aware of how food affects our mood or how we really feel on the inside. But the more you can learn that skill of self-awareness and identifying the toxic thoughts that you're having, you're in a better place to figure out what it is that you need to do to change it. If I didn't know that I was feeling badly about myself because I was bullied, I might just think that it's everyone else's fault. Well, they were mean to me. Well, they did this to me. Well, da-da-da. In the present time. But if I can trace back my insecurities to being bullied in my past, I will have a better idea of what to do moving forward and how to practice nurturing future relationships and not just assuming everyone's out to get me. Does that make sense? The way we act now, the triggers that we have are always stemming from something that happened in the past. So in learning the skill of self-awareness, you're giving yourself just the gift of life. The gift of living a fulfilling life and learning about yourself. And then learning how food reacts in my body. And learning the things that I like. Educating myself on psychology and neuroscience. And I'm not saying you have to nerd out like I did. But education, education, education. Follow the thought leaders. Follow everyone. The next thing, and this is huge, is, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I have it written down. I got to find the right word. Exposing myself to a diverse range of people. Following people from different ethnicities, people of different religious standpoints, people of different body sizes and weights and people in different countries, people with different accents, diversity, understanding other cultures and other people and other colors and other body types will allow you to connect to them, because the more we can separate the fact that we are so different, that I am so different from who I idolize, I can better understand that we are all the same. And we all have insecurities and we all have things we want to work on. So the more you can accept that diversity is a normal part of this world that you live in, the more you can accept that you are a diverse and unique individual. And you are. And you need to step into that power and realize that who you are today is enough. Who you are today is beautiful. There are people in thin bodies who are so happy. There are people in thick bodies, big bodies, who are so happy. There are people who are in thin bodies and they hate their life. There are people who are bigger, and they hate their life too. It's not about your body, it's about how you feel. And that brings me to my next point. I focused on how I felt, not what I saw. If I saw my body in the mirror, I talked about this in my last video. I'll link it up above and down below. It's how to love your naked body. And if you're not feeling very positive about your naked body, it's going to be pretty dang hard to say, oh, I love that body's perfect. But what if we switched it to a neutral talk? In times of negativity, let's opt for neutrality as opposed to positivity, because it can be hard. So instead of saying, I hate myself, say, that's a body. Yep, I have a body, just like I did yesterday. That is a body. Just keep it neutral, keep it what it is, and then eventually you'll transition to a place where it's you can be more positive about it. Let me see what my last tip was. I only wrote down 2 tips, but I had so many in my head that I wanted to share with you. But anyways, let me finish what I was saying about the focus on how you're feeling. Wake up every single morning and ask yourself, how do I feel in my body? Because the times when I am the most angry, the times when I fight with my boyfriend the most, the times when I'm just feeling disgusting and tired is when I don't feel good in my body. After a night of drinking, after eating a ton of salt and pizza and stuff, and I wake up bloated and gross or hungover, I am more irritable. Almost 95% of the serotonin produced in your body is produced in your gut. Food does affect your mood. And although there is room for every and all foods, I don't believe in this black or white, but a gray area. The happier we will be when we can incorporate it all, but also be mindful, right? Using self-awareness to identify what makes us feel good and what doesn't. And if you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, I feel awful. Great. Leave it at that. You don't need to look at your body in the mirror to prove it. And then if you feel great, great. You don't need to look in the mirror to prove why what you're feeling is wrong. Does that make sense? So I'd love to know, which one of these tips did you resonate with the most? We had education, we had diversity and exposing yourself to all different kinds of people and making those connections. And we had feeling in your body and focusing on how you feel. You have to nurture the things that make you feel good, as opposed to just looking at yourself and making an assumption of how you are. You know what I mean? There is health at every size, and there's beauty at every size, and I want you to see that. And that being said, I invite each and every one of you to join my private Facebook community called I Love Myself. A place to go to learn the things you were never taught. We're going live in there every single week. There's posts that are going to help you nurture that. You have to fill your feed with positive energy, so I'll leave the link for that down below. I hope I see you in there. One-on-one connection, conversation, communication with your girl. I'm going to post some other very helpful videos I know that you'll love right down below. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's on this side or this side down below. I don't remember. Anyways, but that's all I have for you guys today. Subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Hit the bell if you liked it as well. And let me know what your favorite tip is. Love you guys.